Good afternoon, everyone. We gather on this most solemn occasion on the territory of the Lekwungen-speaking people of the Songhees and Esquimalt First Nations. I want to thank Elder Novak for getting us started in a good way. We're joining people in British Columbia and around the world today in observing Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day. We gather today, of course, to remember the 6 million Jews murdered in the Holocaust. It's a crime that still shocks the conscience of the world. This is a sacred day of remembrance. The magnitude of the number of 6 million is overwhelming. All murdered, a heinous crime. A number so great, we must always remember the victims as individuals, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, grandfathers and grandmothers, neighbors, friends. Millions of others were murdered because of their ethnicity, their sexual identity, disability, or opposition to the Nazi regime. Entire families destroyed, entire communities wiped out. On this day, we stand with survivors and their families. To the survivors, we honor you. We honor your strength, and we join you in mourning those lost in the Shoah. We remember the dead and tell their stories so that their memory may be a blessing. We also remember the survivors, including those who came to British Columbia, among them Rudolf Verba. Born in Slovakia as Walter Rosenberg, he escaped certain death in Auschwitz to warn his fellow Jews of the death camps. His bravery saved the lives of untold tens of thousands of other people. 20 years after the war, he settled in Vancouver as an associate pharmacology professor at the University of British Columbia. The survivors carry a burden. Not only have they suffered loss, but they also bore witness to the crime that they survived. Recognition of this genocide has never been more important. The malevolent forces responsible for this great crime continue to march. To the horror of all decent people, anti-Semitism remains a scourge in our society. A monstrous hatred still spreads its poison. It cannot be eradicated, it seems, so it must be confronted, challenged, and defeated again. As British Columbians, it is all of our responsibility to stand up against anti-Semitism whenever we encounter it. In the face of lies, in the face of denial and distortion, Holocaust education remains essential. The Holocaust reminds us of what happens when good people remain silent in the face of hatred. The Jewish community here in BC and around the world remains a target of hate crimes. It is unacceptable. It must not be tolerated. Our government will continue to address anti-Semitism, racism, and discrimination in all their ugly forms. On this day, we must once again dedicate ourselves to building a more just and equitable province where everyone is safe. The horrors of the past are a reminder to the present of the consequences of complacency in the face of evil. So it's with steadfast resolution and heartfelt dedication we must make the pledge, never again. At this time, I'd like to invite two community leaders up to accept these ceremonial certificates recognizing April 18th, 2023 as Holocaust Memorial Day in British Columbia. Sharon Fitch, President of the Jewish Federation of Victoria and Vancouver Island, and Jeffrey Drucker, Chair of the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs Pacific Region Leadership Council. Please come forward.